Hello, welcome back. So what is on my desk today? Today we have this laptop. This laptop is coming from a local computer repair shop. This Dell Latitude E5550 that came in for repair. This is job from another computer repair shop. They tried to fix it and they couldn't manage to find out what is the problem, and they sent it here. So the laptop, they said, is not charging, is not coming on. The back cover is missing. We don't have battery. We don't have the drive. Uh, Here we don't have the keyboard. We have this front panel, but the switch is present. So where can we start? Our power supply is on 19 volts, 3.5 amps. Let's see what this laptop is doing. Plug in the power supply. It's taking 57 milliamps, as you can see. Pressing the power switch. Is stuck. The laptop is just stuck on 58 milliamps and it's not powering on. It's not doing anything. Some flex cable. This is disconnected. This is disconnected. We only have this one for the touchpad connected and for the power on switch button. So that's the case that we have today. Here we need access to the motherboard. We need access to the motherboard to see why this motherboard is not turning on. That is the first step. They open it already, so there are no screws. That's the motherboard, but still, I think it's better to take out the motherboard. Or before we take out the motherboard, we have some few components here. Maybe we can check some voltages to see what voltage do we have, where our voltage is ending. Still taking 56 milliamps. So volts. Here's ground. On the plus, here we have some MOSFETs and the capacitors. This is 0. Here we have 0.09. We don't have main 19 volts power rail. Here we have 18.6, but here we don't have voltage. Okay. On this inductor, we have 90. Here on this MOSFET, 18.5. Here we have 18.5. Or my ground is not touching. 19 volts. 19. Current sensor we have 18 point. So the two MOSFETs, they are passing down the 19 volts, and on the current sensor we do have voltage, but on other power supplies like this one we have nothing. So the two MOSFETs, they are driving the 19 volts. I think we need to go under microscope, because I don't understand why, if the two MOSFETs, they are driving the 19 volts, why other power supplies doesn't have the main 19 volts power line. There are some reasons why this might happen. There are some reasons why this might happen. And one of the reasons we might have let me check out the motherboard. One of the reason we might have a problem with one of the other power supplies, or this is the kind of motherboard where we have an independent power supply which is creating the main power rail, which is something like 14 point something volts or 13 point something volts. Maybe we have a fault PD controller. We don't know that. The motherboard is now out. So let's try to analyze this motherboard. That's the motherboard for this Dell Latitude E5550. Um, this is an i7 CPU, and I'm sure it's around. It's about. This must be the fourth or fifth generation. The thing is, the motherboard is not turning on, and what we checked here, because here we have the charging port. We have the charging port, two wires for the plus, two wires for the minus, and the white wire, which is the charger going to the charging ID pin. So from the plus, it's coming straight here. Here we have an inductor. We have a small MOSFET, big MOSFET, and the current sensor. And here we don't have an issue. The issue is after these two input MOSFET, we must have an independent power supply which is creating the main power rail. So what I would do, I will try to locate power supply like here. Here we have a power supply, and we do have some ceramic capacitors. From the plus of this, I'll check two coils, and it's beeping on this big coil. I think let's go on a microscope. Let's go on a microscope. Let's go on a microscope and have a look. So this is the input section. This is the input section. We have this inductor. From the plus is going through this long inductor. And the track is coming. We have a ceramic capacitor. We have this small MOSFETs 7801. This looks like a P channel MOSFET based on the configuration that the last number is an odd number. From here, it's going through this bigger MOSFET and to this current resistor. From this point, we do have 19. Let's confirm again. Let's confirm again. So it's still taking same amount of current, 56 milliamps. Here we have 19 on the gate. We have 9 volts on the gate, which is normal for a P channel MOSFET. Here on the output, we have 19. On the current sensor, we do have a 18.6. On the gate of this MOSFET, which is here. We have 18 volts. Okay. So let's go to that section. The next step, we have this power supply. Here we have a coil. This power supply with this the one with the big coil is creating the main power rail, which is 13 point something volts. If I do remember, on the input of this power supply, I'm checking here on these ceramic capacitors. Here we do have 18.6. On the output, we have 0.19. Okay. So what can be fault? Why this power supply doesn't have output? Oh, this looks like a double. This is a dual MOSFET because we have this gate, we have another gate here. And the MOSFET, the MOSFET looks good. Huh? Why then? Why? Why? Uh, yeah, what we can check, we need to locate the BQ chip because I'm not sure which chip is driving that power supply. Either maybe it's the BQ chip or we have this chip which is next to the battery connector. CD3301D. This chip is dying so many times. But let's check. I'm checking ceramic capacitor around this chip. No, the chip looks fine. So where is my BQ chip? That is my next step. The charging controller. Where is my BQ chip? What? I think I've seen a chip with a hole. That's the BQ chip. Can you spot a hole on this BQ chip? Here's a hole. We have a hole here. And it's 24777. That's bad. So can this be the reason? Huh? Do you think that's the reason? Do you think that's the reason why this motherboard is not turning on? BQ 24777. The chip has a wall. So if this chip has a wall, let's start by fixing what we see. before we complicate this repair, let me look for this chip. I think it's the last time I ordered some of this chip. So let me look for this chip. I think last time, if I do remember last time, I ordered so many chips. There was a Dell Latitude. I think that was E5550 which I ordered, which I ended up ordering this BQ chip. So I'm not sure if I still have those chips, because I tried to look for this chip. Yeah, we still have something like three. We have three chips. Let me see if this is my chip. You see my chip? 24777. So we are saved. We are saved. We have three new chips and one which is not new. So just to do this job well, I'll try this one first, which is not new. If it fails, we'll try the new one. Because what happened last time, I tried to fix a laptop. The BQ chip was faulty and I overlooked other things. And after replacing this chip, we then later discovered that the laptop was having some CPU issue. Let's go on a microscope. Let's go on a microscope. This is not a new chip, but it has to work. It has to work. So what we are doing, we are just replacing a blown up BQ chip for the reasons that we don't know. Full air max temperature. The chip has a hole here. This is out. Our replacement. Yeah, that's the same chip. We need the flags. This has to be a symbol. Just to replace this chip, this has to be very, very simple. Our chip is in position. I'll put more flags. And then we'll we'll try to, I want to see this chip moving. The chip is soldered, but what I don't like, we still have few pins which are not okay. We have a bridge. And I'll use a soldering. I'll use a soldering rake to check that bridge. That's not a big issue. That's not a big issue. The question is this BQ chip working, or we have many other issues? That's the question at the moment with no answer. And the bridge is out. So cleaning, we can clean. We can clean. There's nothing bad by cleaning this chip. Let's dry. Okay, right? Now I want to test. Now let's test. I'll plug in the power supply. And it's taking, you can see the change of current is now taking 400, 390, 500. Now it's restarting. The motherboard is restarting because there's no battery. If I go where we check first, you remember where we checked first? On those ceramic capacitors here. Now we have 13.5 volts. You see? We now have 13.5 volts. Even on a different power supply here, we have 13.5. If I check here, we have 13.5. So that means this switching power supply, which is meant to create the main power array, which is 13.5, was off because of a blown up BQ chip. If I'm to check on this straight on the coil, because this coil is on the output, we have 13.5. On the input, we have 19.1. So this is acting as a step down regulator. That's what this switching power supply is doing. Was we have a dual MOSFET, we have a coil, and we have the driver. I don't know if this is working with the BQ chip or it's working with the CD3301. So the motherboard seems to be on. I can feel the CPU is warm. What we can check further, we can check for, we have some two BIOS chips here in parallel. We can check for pin number 8 here. Here we have 3.29. On the other one, we have 3.29. So the job is done. This job is done. What we want to do, let me put all together and we'll do the final test. Let's test now. Let's test. We need the power supply. We don't have battery, but let's test to see if this laptop is really coming on. You can see the LED here on the switch button. We have a white LED and no picture yet. That's restarting. It's restarting. There's no battery. We have light. 800 milliamps. Hey, Dell log. It's working. Huh? We have picture. There's no SSD. So, yeah, you see? It's working fine. So, that was the repair. Trust me, last time when I ended up ordering this BQ chip 24777 was a disaster. I checked on all boards. I couldn't find the chip. I ended up ordering the chip straight from AliExpress, and this makes me feel comfortable to buy more chips from China through AliExpress because uh, the chip is working. So that was the problem with this laptop. That was only the problem here. The BQ blown up for the reason which you don't know. So let me know what you think on the comment section, and if you have anything that you wish to add or want to know about electronic repairs, starting from phones, laptops, TVs, stereo amplifier, ECU, anything electronics, don't hesitate to leave a comment and I'll try to answer you on the next repair. Bye bye.